Welcome to Macquarie's Postgraduate Information Evening webinar. My name is Jack Nibbs, and I'll be your host for this important and informative session. I've previously completed my Masters of Research, and now I teach at Macquarie University here, whilst completing my PhD in astrophysics. So whether you're looking to advance your career, deepen your knowledge, or simply explore a new field, postgraduate study is a significant step that can unlock many doors. Tonight we'll be covering everything you need to know about starting your postgraduate journey with us here at Macquarie University. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land of which we are located, the Wallumattagal clan of the Darug Nation. We would like to play our Welcome to Country video.
Welcome. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of Macquarie University land, the Wallumattagal clan of the Darug Nation, whose cultures and customs have nurtured this land since the Dreamtime. We pay our respects to elders past, present and future. We welcome people of all nations and all faiths. Kwai Bidja, Jamna Payala Janawi. Come here, we speak together. We have 60,000 years of archaeological evidence of Aboriginal habitation at Lake Mungo and 20,000 years in Ryde. We have great antiquity. Today, hundreds of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people graduate from Macquarie University. The Darug Nation had famous leaders such as Chief Yarramundi, Naraginji, Colby and Maria Locke. Many of the descendants of these Darug people live today amongst you. We celebrate with you our ongoing attachment and custodianship of this country. We celebrate the achievements of Macquarie University.
As we allow for some time for all the attendees to join us online, please note that this session will be recorded and will be shared with you after the event concludes. And if you have any questions throughout this session, please put them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Our team in the background is willing to answer any question you have directly maybe in the Q&A box, or we might answer them live during the Q&A session later on this evening. So the agenda for the webinar tonight. To start, we'll discuss why you should consider studying a postgraduate course. We'll explore the benefits that the postgraduate qualifications can bring to your professional and personal development and how they can help you stand out in a competitive job market. Next, we'll delve into why Macquarie is the ideal place to pursue your postgraduate studies, from our world-class facilities and leading academics to our strong industry connections and commitment to innovation. You'll learn what sets Macquarie apart and how we can support your academic and career goals. We'll also provide an overview of the application process for domestic, international and research-based students. Whether you're studying full-time or part-time or on campus, or remotely, we'll guide you through the steps to ensure your application is as smooth and straightforward as possible. Choosing between full-time and part-time study is another important decision, and we'll be helping you understand the differences between these options so you can choose the path that best suits your lifestyle and commitments. We know that financing your studies can be a significant consideration. That's why we'll also discuss the scholarships and financial assistance available to help you manage the costs of your education and make the most of your time at Macquarie. Finally, we'll highlight the support services we offer to help you succeed, both academically and personally. From academic advising and career services to mental health support and studying well-being programs, we're committed to helping you thrive throughout your postgraduate journey. We'll have a dedicated Q&A sessions, as I mentioned, at the end of the session, so please feel free to jot down any questions that come to mind as we go along and place them into the Q&A box, not the chat box, and one of our friendly team members will answer your questions. We will also be leaving a few questions to be asked directly to our panel members if we find that the same questions can kind of consistently pop up during the webinar. Okay, so why study a postgraduate degree? So postgraduate study offers numerous benefits. First, it allows you to specialize in your field, gaining in-depth knowledge and advanced skills that set you apart in the job market. This specialization can lead to greater job security, higher earning potential, and more opportunities for career progression. Second, a postgraduate degree provides a platform for personal and professional growth. You'll engage in challenging coursework, collaborate with peers, and work on projects that require critical thinking and innovation. This experience can transform how you approach problems, manage teams, and contribute to your industry. Finally, pursuing a postgraduate degree connects you with a network of professionals and academics. These connections can be invaluable, often offering mentorship, collaboration, and access to opportunities that might not be available otherwise. So if you scan the QR code on your screen now, you'll be taken to an informative page on the Macquarie website, which will provide some first-hand information from a satisfied student and a parent about their Macquarie study journey and how the university supported the student throughout their academic journey. So why study a postgraduate degree at Macquarie specifically? So choosing to study at Macquarie University for your postgraduate studies is a decision that can shape your future success, and here's why. First, Macquarie is known for its world-class research and teaching. Our programs are designed to be industry relevant, ensuring that what you learn is applicable to the real world. We offer a wide range of postgraduate courses, so whether you're advancing in your current field or pivoting to a new one, you'll find a program that meets your needs. Second, Macquarie offers unparalleled flexibility. Our programs are designed with the demands of modern life in mind, offering options for part-time, full-time, part-time, and online study as well. This flexibility allows you to balance your studies with work, family, and any other commitments you may have. Additionally, Macquarie's strong industry connections mean you'll benefit from practical, hands-on learning experiences. You'll have opportunities to engage with industry leaders, work on real-world projects, and even undertake internships or placements as part of your degree. These experiences ensure you graduate with both the knowledge and the experience to excel in your career. Finally, Macquarie University's location in Sydney offers a vibrant and dynamic environment. Our campus is a hub of innovation and collaboration and culture, providing a supportive community where you can thrive. So our postgraduate degree is more than just an academic achievement. It's an investment in your future. And when you choose to study at Macquarie University, you're choosing a world-class education that's flexible, industry-focused, and designed to help you achieve your career goals. Then take the next step in your journey with Macquarie University. So to summarize, studying a postgraduate degree at Macquarie University could lead you to a number of different professional opportunities, both domestically and overseas. Our postgraduate alumni network is home to some of the most respected and sought-after professionals in their respective fields. To add on to this, did you know that Macquarie University is actually credited with the first prototype and founding of Wi-Fi services by a pair of alumni? Very cool. Macquarie University, if also the only university in New South Wales, with its own on-campus hospital for students to learn and gain professional experiences during their studies, if that's something you're looking for as well. There are a handful of reasons as to why you should consider studying your postgraduate coursework at Macquarie University. So now we'll move on to the application process for postgraduate studies at Macquarie University. We'll break this down into 4 sections: applying as a domestic student, applying as an international student, applying as a graduate research student, and applying direct from your undergraduate studies to postgraduate studies while studying at Macquarie. So you can apply to Macquarie University in one of 2 ways, either directly to the university or through the university's admission centre, also known as UAC. The course you are applying for will determine which application method you apply with. Domestic and international students will also have different application processes, with different documentation and evidence required for each prospective cohort of students. So let's run through the application process for a domestic student, which is a 5-step process. So step 1, we're going to determine if you are considered a domestic student. You qualify as a domestic student if you hold an Australian or New Zealand citizenship and have Australian permanent resident status, or possess a permanent Australian humanitarian visa. So the second step will be understanding your application pathway. So as I said, there are 2 main pathways to apply to Macquarie University. You can either apply directly through the university or through the university's admission centre, known as UAC. The course you are interested in will determine which application method to use. And then next, it's time to choose your course. So visit our website to explore the degrees we offer. Be sure to check the entry requirements and how to apply tabs for your chosen course. General entry requirements for a postgraduate course typically include the completion of a recognised bachelor's degree and proof of English proficiency. So step 4 will be that some courses may require supplementary admission forms. Be sure to check if your course is on the list. For example, if you're applying for the Diploma of Languages, Doctor of Physiotherapy, translating and interpreting courses, or the Master of Teaching degrees, you'll need to complete additional forms. Each course may have different forms that need to be completed, so to be sure to check for the details prior to beginning your application to allow yourself enough time to complete all the required forms and ensure that you meet all the specific entry requirements for your desired course. And then step 5 is just to submit your application. So once you've gathered all your materials, you can submit your application directly to Macquarie University or through UAC. So be sure to double check that all your documents are in order before submitting. And the QR code on the screen now will take you directly to our postgraduate application page if you would like more information about each of these steps. So the next section will be applying to Macquarie for international students. At Macquarie University, you're considered an international student if you do not hold any of the following: Australian or New Zealand citizenship, the Australian permanent resident status, or a permanent Australian humanitarian visa. So the first step here will be choosing the course that aligns with your academic and career goals, so you can explore our wide range of degrees on our website. Again, step 2 will be to check your entry requirements. So we'll review the entry requirements for your chosen course. Make sure your current qualification is recognised and convert your qualification score into an Australian Tertiary Admissions Rank, or ATAR. Don't forget that if you meet the English language requirements, also see if you're eligible for recognition of prior learning, or RPL, which could give you credit for previous studies that you've done. And then step 3, so when we're going to apply, you will have a few options. Apply directly to Macquarie University online, or if you're an international applicant, currently completing an Australian Year 12 qualification, the International Baccalaureate, or the New Zealand NCEA Level 3 qualification, you can apply via the university's admissions centre or UAC International. Alternatively, you can apply through an authorised agent. Approved representatives can assist with your application and may offer additional package plans to enhance your experience. So please note, Macquarie University only accepts applications from official representatives under contract. Ensure you receive professional and reliable advice. And step 4 will be receiving your offer. So if you do receive an offer, congratulations and welcome to Macquarie. To secure your place, simply accept your offer. Details on how to complete your enrolment will be provided before your program begins. And the QR code on the screen at the moment will take you directly to our international application page if you would like more information about each of these steps. So the next section will be applying to Macquarie University as a research student. So choosing a graduate research degree that aligns with your academic and research goals. Explore our range of degrees, review the entry requirements, and make sure to check fees and costs associated with your chosen program. Next, consider funding your research degree. We offer a variety of scholarship opportunities at Macquarie University, so use our scholarship search tool to find both university-funded and externally funded scholarships that match your needs. Then it's time to find a supervisor who shares your research interests. Work closely with your proposed supervisor to develop a strong research proposal. Please note, this step is not required if you're applying for a graduate certificate or graduate diploma of research. And then step 4, so before you apply, gather all the necessary documents. This includes your academic transcripts, proof of English proficiency, a detailed CV, and any other relevant materials such as your thesis abstract or supporting documents for publications. You'll also need to confirm the details of 2 referees, including their names, positions, phone numbers, and email addresses. Once you've gathered all your documents, you're ready to apply. Submit your application directly to Macquarie University through our online application form. If you're an international applicant intending to reside in Australia, be sure to register as a temporary entry permit under the nationality field. If you're already enrolled in a Macquarie research degree or have a recent offer, refer to the scholarship-only application user guide. Before submitting, make sure to review our terms and conditions. So when applying, you'll need to provide several documents, including official academic transcripts for all prior studies, official university grading scales, degree certificates or statements of completion, English proficiency and test results, a detailed CV with research outputs, copies of your passport or birth certificate, and current Australian visa, if applicable. For those who completed a thesis, you'll need to submit the thesis abstract, a copy of the thesis, examiner reports, the grade awarded, and the duration of the thesis component. Additionally, you may need to provide the documents like your research proposal, evidence of prizes, scholarships, publications, or proof of enrollment at a partner university if applicable. If any documents are not in English, certified English translations are required. So after you've submitted your application, you'll receive an acknowledgement email with your login ID. If we need more information to assess your application, we'll contact you via email. Once your application is complete, it will be reviewed by the Graduate Research Academy's admissions team and sent to the relevant faculty for further assessment. You'll be notified of the outcome within approximately 6 to 8 weeks. The QR code on the screen will take you directly to the research application page if you would like more information about each of these steps. So the last step here the last section will be applying to Macquarie as a current undergraduate student or an alumni to postgraduate study. So in most instances, as a domestic undergraduate student, your application process will follow the steps we covered for the domestic applicants. The benefit here is that some Macquarie courses will give you your RPL, or recognition of prior learning, or credit towards your degree, meaning that some degrees will be shorter in duration as you won't need to study as many units. And therefore you will also incur less costs due to less units needing to be completed. So to recap the steps again, the process is: number 1, determine your eligibility. Number 2, understand your application pathway. 3, choose your course. Step 4, complete any supplementary forms. Step 5, submit your application. And if required, step 6, apply for any credit or recognized prior learning. Okay, so should you study full-time or part-time at Macquarie? So at Macquarie, postgraduate students have the flexibility to choose between full-time and part-time study options, depending on the personal and professional commitments. Let's break down the key differences to help you decide which is right for you. So full-time study is the traditional path for most postgraduate students. In this mode, you're typically enrolled in a high number of credit points per session, allowing you to complete your degree within the standard time frame. For most programs, full-time study means taking 8 to 12 points per session, which usually equates to 3 or 4 subjects. Full-time study is ideal if you're able to dedicate most of your time to your studies. It's a great option if you're looking to finish your degree quickly, progress in your career sooner, or if you're an international student, or as it meets visa requirements. So part-time study is designed for students who need a more flexible schedule. In this mode, you'll take fewer credit points per session, usually 4 to 8, which allows you to balance your studies with work, family, or other commitments. While part-time study extends the duration of your degree, it offers an advantage of a reduced workload per session. Part-time study is perfect if you're working full-time, have family responsibilities, or simply prefer to spread your studies over a longer period. It's a great way to continue your education without putting your life on hold. So some key considerations to remember that when deciding between full-time and part-time study, consider factors like your available time, your financial situation, and long-term career goals. Full-time study offers a fast path to graduation, while part-time study provides the flexibility to balance your studies with other aspects of your life. Whether you choose a full-time or part-time study, Macquarie University supports your postgraduate journey with the flexibility to help you achieve your goals. So explore your options and choose the path that works best for you. So some scholarships for postgraduate students. Macquarie University does offer a range of scholarships for postgraduate students, including both coursework and research degrees. These scholarships aim to support academic excellence, research potential, leadership, and financial need. So some options include the Research Training Programs, the RTP scholarships, Vice Chancellor's International Scholarships, and also faculty-specific awards. They cover tuition fees, provide stipends, or offer partial funding. Each scholarship has specific eligibility criteria and application requirements. So for detailed information and application deadlines, students should visit the Macquarie University's scholarship webpage, which you can do by scanning the QR code on the screen now. So let's look at some frequently asked questions about these scholarships. So we usually encounter some of these questions when we're talking about this. So I've put them on the screen now. So can I get more than one scholarship? Students generally can only receive one scholarship at a time. However, there can be exceptions. Number two, if I don't receive a scholarship, can I apply for it again at a later time? Some scholarships can be applied for again if you were unsuccessful previously, but that will depend on the scholarship. And number three, if I am awarded a scholarship and need to defer my studies, would my scholarship be deferred too? And the answer is most scholarships cannot be deferred. And the last one there, four, can I apply for a scholarship if I'm not currently a student at Macquarie? So to be eligible for and receive a scholarship, you need to apply or be an enrolled student at Macquarie. So let's get into some support services. So at Macquarie University, we provide a range of resources to help you enhance your academic skills and succeed in your studies. Whether you need support with writing assessments, referencing, or study strategies, our tools are here to guide you. So developing effective study habits is key to academic success. Our resources cover everything from managing your time and taking notes to preparing exams and working in groups. These tools are designed to help you learn more efficiently and effectively. Writing at a university level can be challenging, but our resources are here to help. Whether you're analysing an assessment task, crafting a thesis statement, or writing essays, reports, and literature reviews, we provide step-by-step guidance to improve your writing. Plus, we offer tips on editing, proofreading, and maintaining academic integrity. Referencing correctly is crucial for academic integrity too, so our guides will also help you cite sources accurately, understand different referencing styles, and ensure your work meets Macquarie academic standards. And if English isn't your first language or you need to refine your grammar, we offer a variety of resources on the Macquarie English Language Resources page. So explore these online resources to boost your academic performance and achieve your goals. At Macquarie University, we're committed to supporting you in every step of the way. So some more on support services. Course guidance is a self-help tool that connects you to resources you need to understand those course requirements, monitor your academic standing, and make informed decisions about your any changes that may be happening to your degree. So course guidance is divided into three essential sections. Academic standing, so learn about your academic standing and take necessary actions if you're on monitored enrollment or probation. Course progression check, so determine your remaining units and plan your studies effectively. We recommend completing at least half of your course before requesting a progression check. And course changes, so understand how transferring courses or changing your major, minor, or specialization could impact your studies. If you're in a unique situation, course guidance can also refer you to additional support. Keep in mind our expected processing time for enquiries is 4 weeks, so it's often faster to use the self-help resources available through the form. The course guidance at Macquarie University empowers you to make informed decisions about your studies. Use these resources to stay on the right path and achieve your academic goals. So before we move on to our Q&A panel with our esteemed guests, here is a quick summary of what we have covered this evening. So postgraduate study at Macquarie can be flexible and suit your needs. Domestic, international, and research students have different application processes, and different postgraduate courses may contain different additional documentation for each application. Support services at Macquarie are wide-ranging and are free to enrolled students. So I would like to say thank you for your patience and time so far this evening. We will now play a short video while I quickly move to our next site for our Q&A panel with some of our guests joining us to answer your questions live. Thank you.
Welcome to the Macquarie University campus. Did you know that when the Macquarie campus was established more than 50 years ago, it was done with collaboration at its heart? Our visionary founders chose a bold location away from the city centre, but an area where they predicted Sydney would boom, and they weren't wrong. Our stunning 126-hectare campus is uniquely located in the heart of not only Australia's, but the Southern Hemisphere's largest high-tech precinct. Such a location enables you to connect and collaborate with future employers in some of the country's leading organisations while you're still studying. Through internships and other practical work experiences, as well as through degrees that have been co-designed with industry partners, you'll gain the knowledge and skills you'll need to meet the current and future challenges of your chosen profession. Okay, so it's great that there's an amazing hub of innovation right next door to the campus, but what about the actual campus? Having had more than $1 billion invested in the campus in recent years, Macquarie is home to some of Australia's most exceptional facilities. Our newest building, One Central Courtyard, is where you're going to love spending a lot of your on-campus downtime. Standing atop grassed and paved courtyards, this central hub is home to the iconic U-Bar, as well as 16 food outlets. There's also an awesome terrace that overlooks the lake. Yep, we have a lake. It's also home to our new on-campus student residential accommodation, which features studio, twin and apartment options, communal social areas, and 24/7 on-campus security. If you're in need of some quiet study time, you'll most likely head to the library. Only 10 years old, the library provides access to millions of print and electronic resources. It features group and quiet study areas, computers, printers and copiers, presentation practice pods, and a cafe. And if you're into sport and fitness, you're going to love our Sport and Aquatic Centre, which features 2 pools, a gym, courts, and fields. So, that's a snapshot of our campus. But how do I get from one facility to the next, you ask? That will be down Wally's Walk, named after Macquarie architect planner Dr. Walter Abraham. This central pathway runs the entire length of the university and links all corners of our amazing campus. I'm sure you'll agree, our campus is pretty spectacular. There's so much more to show you, and we can't wait for you to visit sometime soon.
All right, hello, welcome back. So we've looked at some detailed information on how to apply for postgraduate study, scholarships, opportunities, and how you'll be supported through your studies as you juggle full-time work, family, and any of your other commitments. So we're now in the Postgraduate Lounge in the Michael Kirby building on campus, on our North Ryde campus that is, with our panel, who is here to explore a topic of great significance. So how pursuing education can shape your personal and professional development, and how it positions individuals for success in the evolving job market. So our esteemed panelists represent a diverse range of disciplines and bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to our discussion. They're here to illuminate ways in which postgraduate programs are designed not only to meet the evolving demands of the job market, but also to support students in pursuing their deepest interests and aspirations. So a warm welcome to everyone watching and our panelists. I'll just hand it over first if you want to each introduce yourselves, say your name and what you do here at Macquarie.
Thanks, Jack. My name's Lise. I'm the Dean at Macquarie Law School, which is located here in this building.
Thanks, Lise. My name's Simon Hanley. I'm a Professor of Experimental Cognitive Psychology, and I'm the Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Graduate Research, looking after all of the graduate research programs that we run at Macquarie.
Thanks, Simon. My name's Kate Bellamy. I'm an alumni from the Doctor of Physiotherapy program here at Macquarie University. I graduated in 2020 and I now work as a physiotherapist at the Children's Hospital at Westmead.
Fantastic, welcome all. So let's start with Lise. So how can postgraduate study set students up to compete in an ever-evolving and kind of stay competitive in the job market at the moment? There you go.
Thanks, Jack. Look, I think I see 2 kinds of students in that respect. So the first are students who want to change careers. So they might want to come and do something new. Like they may have a degree in, say, physiotherapy and want to switch into law or add on to those skills that they have in a medical field with a law degree. So a Juris Doctor would allow them to do that. And then I think the other category of students that we have are those who want to stay in their career, but they want to give themselves a career edge through further study. So that might be, everything from a graduate certificate, a shorter qualification. For instance, we're introducing a new graduate certificate in financial integrity next year. So specialists in finance fields, in banking, securities, real estate. They might want to upskill with a qualification like that. So career change and upskilling to give yourself the edge to maybe fast track a promotion.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much. Just as a quick follow-up, have you seen any kind of any of that happening in like a law industry in particular? So any in the law industry where you've seen like that's a postgraduate study has been a real deal, well, not deal breaker, but a real difference maker for students?
100%. I think I just ran into some students just last week who'd finished their Juris Doctor. And I remember this one particular student who came in, he was actually a medical doctor and thought that he would do the Juris Doctor and gain the sort of expertise that you need to be an expert witness in legal cases as a medical professional. As it turned out, he discovered a passion for human rights law while he was studying, and that's now his passion, and it's taking him to some really interesting work that he never expected.
Very good, very good. How fantastic is that? Okay, so we'll hand it over to Simon. So one for you. Can you please? Oh, sorry. How can obtaining a research degree open up diverse career paths within and beyond academia?
Thanks, Jay. That's a great question. Perhaps before I answer it, I could say a little bit about the research degrees that we have at Macquarie. It's actually a really exciting time at the moment because we're launching a new program for commencement in 2025, and that's our postgraduate diploma in research. And the postgraduate diploma is in a sense, it's a first step in a pathway towards a research degree. It's a coursework program that delivers training in analytic techniques, in research design, in statistical techniques, in a whole range of sort of methodologies and approaches to research within a particular discipline area. Following that, if you're interested in a research pathway, we have the Masters of Research, which is now a one-year program where you complete a 20,000 word dissertation in a research area of your choice, supported by a supervisor and a subject expert. And then, of course, we have the PhD, which is a 3-year research program. Now, the thing about research training programs, they're different to postgraduate coursework programs. And the word training is really important because you are being trained in developing research skills to become an expert, both within the discipline, but also develop expertise in research. And what that involves is being able to utilize evidence and test hypotheses and to ask the right sorts of research questions to understand the role of evidence in supporting particular perspectives and views, the sort of analytic techniques that you need to apply in order to draw inferences from data, and a whole range of techniques that allow you to, if you like, get close to the truth about reality in the world and the humans that inhabit that world. And that's incredibly powerful. And of course, I think it's really, really important. And I think it's also hugely applicable to employment outside of academia. And what I would say is that individuals who do PhDs or Masters of Research, they genuinely graduate with skills that are so far advanced of others going into employment in terms of research capabilities. They're able to communicate their research, they're able to visualize their research, they're able to utilize research to address applied problems. And just to think about the sort of employment opportunities that PhD students might go into. I mean, I can give you some examples from my own students, the 3 most recent PhD students that graduated. One of those is now employed by Queensland Health, evaluating clinical training initiatives and their effectiveness. Another is working for a behavioural insights team for the New South Wales government. So looking at the effectiveness of behavioural manipulations in order to facilitate decision making amongst consumers and amongst people who engage with local government to facilitate the decisions and to lead to better decisions financially for individuals, for example, in relation to superannuation choices, etc., etc. And third student, my most recent PhD student, is working as a postdoc, is in academia, working at UNSW at the Institute of Climate Risk. So all three students, I work in reasoning and decision making, all three students are actually working outside of the discipline area that they did their PhD, but they're applying their research skills in a range of different ways. And that's what's really unique about a research degree is the ability to be able to do that. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you so much, Simon. I certainly know in my own PhD, as we know, I've mentioned I was doing a PhD in astrophysics before, that like I've again come to a number of skills that I've found that are applicable in a wide range of subjects, really. And so, in fact, at the moment, I'm even interested in being potentially a meteorologist afterwards, which is, you know, all the same kind of physics that apply to stars and galaxies is the same physics here on Earth. And so, yeah, so absolutely, that's fantastic to hear about all the kind of future career prospects for PhD students. So thank you so much, Simon. Now, Kate, as an alumni, would you be able to kind of share with us your story of kind of like how your studies went and how you've kind of utilized them now in your current career?
Thank you. Yeah, of course. Thanks, Jack. So I think being a physiotherapist, I assumed that I was going to be a sports physio. I think everyone thinks about physiotherapy. I'm going to work with an elite sports team. And when I came in, I thought that was my goal. I didn't really realize how many types of physiotherapists are out there and how many different settings are available for physiotherapists to work in. And I think that's something that Macquarie really set up well for me. For all of our students, we have 5 placements, five-week full-time placements throughout the degree. So you get exposure to all the different areas. So working in a hospital, working in a rehab facility, and then working in a private practice. One of the best things for me that I didn't realize that I loved working with cardiorespiratory physio. So helping people sort of clear secretions and things like that. It might not be your typical idea for a physio, and that's completely fine, but very important. And then also working in pediatrics. And so throughout our units, we had volunteers in the community that had children with disabilities that allowed us to go and meet with them, talk about their experiences and apply our knowledge. And the best thing probably was in our final semester, we had an elective placement, and I'd found through the units that I loved the pediatric knowledge, content, working with that population, which I then went on to do a placement, which I love so much, and getting involved with that population. Then actually I ended up working in the environment that I did my placement at. So I think all of the placements, I know it's different for every degree, but where they really source opportunities that people are looking to work in and provide opportunities for everyone. Everyone wants to work in different places, whether it's private practice, there's work health and safety now, so many different areas. So I think we get exposure to all the different areas. Bit of a long answer for a short question, but there you go.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'll throw it back to Simon and Lise. So what specific skills and knowledge gained from postgraduate study do you think are most valuable for future work environments? In fact, actually, Kate, this would be a good one for you as well, if you want to go one by one.
So I think the critical thinking skills that you develop in postgrad study, because you're taking your studies to a different level than the undergrads, more independent thinking, I think more teamwork as well. All those soft skills are important in the workplace as well, but the ability to evaluate sources of knowledge and then apply those, I think that's what you get from postgrad study.
Thanks, Lisa. I mean, I'd agree about critical thinking, absolutely, and that's something I think that very clearly comes out of postgraduate research. I think the other thing is resilience. Completing a PhD is 3 years of, directed work, but often self-directed as well, because it's your own research project. So you're driving the direction with guidance from your supervisor. And look, sometimes things don't work out as planned. Sometimes things go wrong, and you have to pivot and change and respond to those challenges. So being able to respond to challenges and being resilient in the face of them, I think is a key thing. Project management, accountability and adaptability, I think they're key skills.
Thank you. I think a big one for me was time management. So I think being a postgrad student, working a part-time job while going through university and then being at university as a full-time student, I really had to work on time management and being able to prioritize tasks, which I think has carried really well over into my career. I have to manage patients. I have to prioritize patients that need to be seen first. And I think working with all your units, assessment tasks at different times with outside personal commitments as well. That was something that has been really helpful for me.
Fantastic. And I mean, for my part, I think one of the major skills that I've learned so far is just being a better problem solver. Really, is being able to again, it is part of critical thinking, but like the range of kind of methods you can now employ once you've seen these kind of all this advanced, deeper knowledge and how many things you're exposed to in terms of how you can apply all this new knowledge into actually solving problems, because you are at the kind of the forefront in a postgraduate degree. You're at the forefront of kind of the human knowledge, really. So it's learning how to be a better problem solver is one of the main things I've noticed through my own development. So I know we've all kind of touched on this actually, so I'll throw it to Simon. But how does Macquarie University integrate like real world learning experiences to kind of bridge that employability gap in postgraduate study?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, in terms of graduate research, within the Graduate Research Academy, the Graduate Research School at Macquarie, we have a strategic programs team, and within that team, we have specialists who are focused on industry-based PhDs. And so, and also on arranging internships for our graduate researchers. So one priority for us is growing the opportunities in relation to industry PhDs, which are PhDs where a candidate works on an industry-related problem that's been identified in collaboration with an industry supervisor and a Macquarie supervisor. So it's very applied. I think it builds up a connection and a relationship with a commercial organization. It develops those sorts of skills, that understanding, the ability to, think about sort of addressing a problem that is relevant to a company in real time. And I think that's absolutely critical. I think the other thing I'd like to mention is our internship program, which again, is unrelated to the PhD that the student's studying, but again, is an important opportunity to be able to utilize your skills to address a research question that's been identified by a potential employer and a commercial organization. Utilize those skills for a fixed period of time, build your network and build your capabilities, please.
Can I quickly give a plug to also the placements that you get to do in different postgrad settings? So Kate mentioned placements in physio. In law, every student in the Juris Doctor has the opportunity to do a placement as well with a law firm, for instance. So here at Macquarie in the law school, we have a partnership with Wallamata Legal. They're a low-fee family law firm. One of our Juris Doctor students did her placement as a paralegal, and now she's helping with the practice management in a full-time role. So she's gone directly from that placement experience into work, which has been great.
Awesome. Did you want to say something too, Kate?
Thank you. I think a big one for me is the facilities that we have on campus. So especially being in sort of the health area, we have our own hospital, which is very unique to Macquarie University. And, I was fortunate to do a placement there. Even as early on as in our first year, I was able to shadow a registered nurse. So really getting an idea about multidisciplinary care. So just all the resources we have on campus. And then things like hydrotherapy or aquatic physiotherapy. We're doing tutorials up at the Macquarie University Sport and Aquatic Centre. So there's so much available, and I think that was huge, as well as our tutorial rooms were all set up like clinic rooms. So you're using world-class facilities just as you would be when you're out working. So that was really helpful for me going through.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Fantastic. So we're running a bit lower on time, but I do have one question. So we've talked about how postgraduate study kind of gets you into a job, but once you're already in the job, how does your postgraduate kind of study and all your experience with that, how does that really accelerate you once you're already in the career? Like what can you pull out of, in what way does that help you once you're already in?
It can turn you into a specialist. So you can take that area of your employment that you're interested in and apply it in your studies. And law is everywhere, in every job. So that's an obvious example, but you can really dig into that specialisation that you want to pursue at work.
There's a recent report, sort of in collaboration with CSIRO, which looked at the employment destinations of graduate researchers, and there was a couple of stats there which I think I'd like to share with you. One was that 19 out of the top 20 ASX listed companies have a PhD graduate as part of their senior executive teams. And I think that tells you something about the value of a graduate research degree. And I think, you know, there are many things I could say. I think one is, you know, it helps you communicate effectively and communicate evidence-based decision making. And I think that's key. In any sort of leadership role, being able to draw on evidence, being able to understand evidence, being able to communicate it, and being able to use it to guide high-level decision making is something I think the graduate research degree provides you with skills that are, you know, are way above the sorts of skills that you would get with, say, just an undergraduate degree.
Thank you. Really interesting that you spoke about evidence-based sort of care practice. I think that's definitely something that I learned through our degree. I hadn't had much exposure to research, and in one of the units you do in the first year is evidence-based healthcare. So it's learning about how to interpret evidence, then how to apply it. Are your patients getting the gold standard treatment? And that's been so helpful for me. Every day we're looking up research, making sure our patients are getting the best care. But I think something that's also been really helpful from working is sort of the network of my peers that I went through with. We're all working in different areas and we'll see different complex cases, and we can reach out to each other within that network, and we can chat to each other maybe and brainstorm if we're not sure about something. So that's been really helpful for me.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for those excellent answers. I've got one more question, just a short one. So do you have any wisdom that you'd like to impart to any potential postgraduate people who are watching this and thinking whether or not is postgraduate study for them? Do you have any wisdom that you would impart?
I would say just give it a go. Macquarie's really flexible, and you can adapt the amount of study that you're doing, the units that you're taking as you go along. There's never a perfect time. Everyone's busy. I think the regret you have is not giving it a go.
I'd say just follow your passion. And, you know, what I say to our graduate researchers when they commence is that you're going to have 3 years to spend thinking about one thing, one research question that you're absolutely passionate about. That is a unique and extraordinary opportunity. And I think the successful graduate researchers are successful because despite the challenges, despite the difficulties, you know, they are absolutely passionate about finding something out about the world.
Awesome, thanks. I feel like I've got the raw end of the short end of the stick going last every time you guys give such good answers. I think as well, just give it a go if you're thinking about it. There's no bad time. Even if you haven't been studying for a number of years, I think there's so many other skills you can bring in from working or, you know, raising a family that are so important throughout your career. So that would kind of be the biggest thing there. And come along to days like Open Day, or there's Service Connect services available on campus. You can come in or call and chat to them about sort of what options you have, and talk to people who have already gone through the degree that might be able to give sort of specific advice that might be relevant to your situation. But absolutely, there's so many services out there. Writing services, if you feel like you haven't written in a while, there's so much there to help. So give it a go.
Excellent. Okay, we might actually now move on to the live Q&A session. So we still do have the box open for the questions. So if you have any questions that you would like answered, we do have a team that's answering those behind the scenes as well. I'm just going to flick over here to our live Q&A and see if we've got any in here. Oh, we do have. Whoops. How do I work an iPad? That's a good question. So can our esteemed panel members please walk us through the difference between a graduate certificate and a graduate diploma, and what does completing either or both allow you to progress into in terms of future study? Like, for example, like a Master of Research or whatnot. No, with anyone?
Yeah, I'm quite happy to.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's a very good question because we are launching a graduate diploma of research next year, and that has an embedded graduate certificate of research. The graduate certificate consists of 4 units. They're principally focused on methodology and analysis. So the idea is the grad certificate of research will build up your basic research skills. You can then leave it at that and potentially go back to employment and apply those new skills within your employment situation. Or you can come back at a later point and you can upgrade that by doing an additional 4 units in order to get a graduate diploma. And once you've completed the graduate diploma of research, you can then, if you're interested, progress to our 1-year Master of Research. So it's a sort of stackable degree that allows you to sort of build from the bottom up and develop basic skills, and then build upon those basic skills, and then apply those skills within the Masters of Research.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It looks like that might be all we have time for tonight. I hope tonight has been very informative for everyone watching. If you do still have questions and they have yet to be answered, there is a link, I believe, that is being posted now or sometime soon where you can book a personal consultation with the Future Students team, and they'll be able to walk you through any questions you may still have. But with that said, I would like to extend a very warm thank you to all our panelists. It was excellent hearing all your wisdom and all the knowledge you have to impart. And again, I hope that was very useful for everyone at home. So thank you all for tuning in to this postgraduate info evening.